this video is about the indices, the positive and negative, but again I'll describe that what does it mean, or what's the concept, or how do you derive this, what does it mean by the positive indices and the negative indices. And let's start with this. Let's say if I multiply 2 with 2 with 2 this many times, so you can see we are writing 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4 times. So this is also written in the form of a power, a little. So 2 is there 4 times, so 2 is there 4 times. So we also write this in the top. So that means if we just times them, so 2 times 2 4, times 2 8, and 8 times 2 16, so we'll get the answer 16. So this thing is called the power or the exponent, or also is called the index or indices. So if you just have the positive power, so it means that that's just have to times 2 with 2 4 times. If you have something like let's say 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, so you can see 10 is multiplying with 10 5 times, so this means 10 raised to the power 5. And what does it mean? It means we have to times 10 with 10 5 times. So if you can see, it's 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, so it will be 100,000. all right. Also, there's a short way just came into mind when just to avoid multiplying these things together, you can just see 10 raised to the power 5 means there will be 5 zeros, so you can see 1 2 3 and 4 5. Anyway, just move back to the things more in details. Let's say I'm writing, I guess you already know all these things. You already know what does it mean by 2 to the power 3. You already know 2 to the power 2. You already know 2 to the power 1. You already know even 2 to the power 0, I guess. You already know 2 to the power negative 1, 2 to the power negative 2, 2 to the power negative 3. But have you ever observed that how do you get these things, or why do you just have to memorize these things, or why do you just have to know these things? What's the reason behind this? Let's discuss this now. So if we start with the first one, it says 2. It says 2 to the power of 3. So it actually means we have to times 2 with 2 3 times. So I'll just write the first one, or instead I'll just write the top one again. So that means we have to times 2 4 times, right? So that means 16. Okay, now if we check, first of all, these all are the powers written in order, right? And so what you can do, you already know 2 to the power 3 means 2 times 2 times 2, and if you times it, you will get 8. Same is there, if you just do this thing, it means 4. This means 2 should be there 1 time, so it's clearly just the same number 2. What about this one? How will write this as this expansion? Can you write this? But you just know the answer. I know you just know the answer is 1. You just know the answer of this, you just know. But have you ever observed, or have you ever asked yourself, or even your teacher, that how do you get these things in detail, or I mean, how do you get the answer of these directly? What's the reason? So look, if you just look at the pattern, 2 to the power 4 was 16. Okay, how you can get this thing? You can also write the previous thing, the previous answer, and then divide this with the number 2. You will get the answer 8 again. How do you get 4? You just write the previous answer of 2 to the power 3, that was 8, and then if you divide that with the number 2, you will get the answer 4, right? How do you get the answer of this as 2? If you write the previous answer of 2 to the power 2, that was 4, and if you divide that with 2, divide means because you can see we're just removing one of the 2, and removing means this was the multiplication, so we're just doing the opposite, we're just doing the division. So that's the reason we're just dividing them. So it was 4 divided by 2, and the answer of this is 2. Same thing we can repeat there. So what was the answer of the previous power? Previous power was that the answer was 2. So if we divide that with the number again, so what is 2 divided by 2? That will be 1. It means 2 to the power 0 is 1. In fact, if we repeat this procedure with anything, then you always get 1. Okay, move further. Okay, what power comes before 2 to the power negative 1 is 2 to the power 0, and the answer of that is 1. If you divide that with 2 again, so you will get 1 over 2. This time again, what's the previous power of this is 1 over 2. If you divide that with 2 again, and if you remember the KCF method of division of fractions, so you have to keep the first fraction, then you have to change the symbol, so change it to times, and then you have to flip this. So this is 2. 2, if you flip 2, it will be 1 over 2, right? And if you times them now, it will be 1/4. So this thing is equal to 1/4, and then this thing 2 to the power negative 3 again. So what's the answer of the previous thing is 1/4. If you divide this with 2 again, so you will again do the same thing. So 1/4, this will change to times, and this will flip, it will be 1/2, and then the answer of this is 1/8. So actually, just in short, we always actually go for the short way in our books and in the classrooms. So we always just memorize these things. If 2 to the power 3 is 8, then 2 to the power negative 3 will be just the reciprocal or the flip over of this, so it will be 1/8. 2 to the power 2 is 4, so negative 2 will be 1/4. So basically this is the way that we always get the reasoning behind these answers.